Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Gabi. With me I have a 2022 Telluride SX and a 2023 Carnival EX Plus. Why do I have these vehicles? Good question. They're both 8-seater or 8-passenger vehicles. They both have a V6, but they're both very different. Both of them could cater to your needs, but I'm going to talk about why you may choose one or the other. I'm going to start off with the Carnival. So in the 2023 Carnival, you have a 3.5-liter V6 engine with an 8-speed automatic transmission. This gives you a towing capacity of 3,500 pounds, lots of power under the hood, enough to lug around, whether you got tons of kids, tons of family members, tons of pets, or if you're a worker and you got, I don't know, I have a customer who's a baker and she loads her Carnival up with cakes, treats, whatever. I wish she stopped by here. Whatever you're carrying, it has the room for it and it has the seating layout of a van. So you can have everything flat. It's like a pickup truck almost, but you still have a lot of tech and a lot of features. We're gonna go into some of the features in this vehicle and show you the size as well. Gonna start off with the front grille. You got these nice LED headlights as well as LED fog lights as well too. Very, very sharp cutoff. Beautiful paint color. This is called Flare Red. We haven't seen this too much in person yet. So this customer ordered theirs almost a year ago and it's finally arrived. They're going to be very excited to pick it up. And then we'll come off to the side. We'll get a quick shot of the wheels. This one's a bit dirty as it just came in. These are 19-inch machine finished alloy wheels. So you got a little bit of aluminum and some dark as well too. On your mirrors you have body color with the black accent and a turn signal marker. Under here you'll also notice there is a camera. So I'm going to show you what that does in a second when we get inside. But hint, it's for your 360 camera. All throughout the vehicle, you have really, really nice door handles. So they have some satin chrome finish with your paint color. And I'll open up the door as well too. Power doors. So power doors are available on every trim line above the base model. So the LX Plus and up has power doors. You can control them either from the door by pressing that button or from your key fob. Okay, so now we're moving on to the trunk of the vehicle. So both of these vehicles have power tailgates. Both of them have the same kind of tailgate features. And what I mean by tailgate features is you can adjust the height, so the opening height and the opening speed. Right now I have it on the tallest or the full height, the full stretch. If I was a bit shorter, it might be a little hard to have this height, so you can adjust it to whatever you need. To close it, you do have a power button right over here. You can also use your key fob, or there is a button by the steering wheel, which we'll get into in a second. I'm going to show you the rear seats as well too. So this vehicle, like I said, they're both 8-seater vehicles. I have 3 seats in the back, 3 seats in the second row, the center row, and then 2 seats up in the front. So I've had one folded down already, so you can see what it looks like folded down. You get a completely flat back spot for storage, or rear end for storage. Now to fold these ones down, you just follow the steps. So number 1, you give this a pull and it'll release. You can move it down there. Then you just give it a little push and it goes nice and easy into the floor. So whatever you need, whether it's appliances, baked goods, kids, movie nights, who knows. If you're at the drive-in, this would be great because you could just lay down, right? And then to bring it back up, same thing, just number 1, it'll lift up. It'll go over there. You can leave it there if it's useful for you. That way you can get access to here and still put stuff on top. If you do need the seats up though, you're gonna give this one a tug. It'll lock into place and then you can adjust your headrests. So strollers, whatever you need, it'll fit down there. It's a very, very deep storage pocket. Now I'll come around to the side and we'll look inside the vehicle as well too. So on the EX Plus, you're greeted with a lot of tech features and a lot of comfort features. Same with the Telluride. So I'm just gonna hop in. One thing I do notice that's different in the Telluride is the lack of memory seats. So if you do want memory seats, if that's a big deal for you, you would have to move up to the SX trim on the Carnival. One thing you lose with the SX trim though is you don't have 8 seats. You get 2 seats in the second row, so 2 VIP lounger chairs, and you won't get your extra seat. Depends how important that is for you. Over here you have your power mirrors, so they fold in whenever you lock the vehicle. Your light, or not your light controls, your window controls and your door lock and unlock. I really like how in the Carnival you have a mix of lights and darks as well too. Over here I got our lane keep assist button, our power door options, and our power tailgate option. So you can press that there to open up your tailgate or whichever door you want. If you want to turn off your power doors, that's also an option. So just with that button there, Your cluster looks like this, so very, very different from the Telluride. You have a full digital cluster. When I hit my turn signal, sorry, the engine will have to be on. Give me a second. I'm going to start it up for just a minute. Now when I turn my turn signal on, I have a camera in my turn signal. Very, very useful for highway driving or just changing lanes. I still recommend always looking in your blind spot, but it's nice to have just for extra peace of mind. Now when I start this up again, ignore the beeping, it'll go away in a second. You can see your clusters are all digital. And one really cool thing I've noticed is when you press the drive mode select, so when you cycle between your drive modes, it'll change the appearance of your clusters. So sport mode's my favorite. It looks very sporty, almost like you're in a track car, but you're driving a van. And smart mode. Now these drive modes do affect the way your vehicle performs, the transmission, the way it shifts, how long you hold a gear, and also your steering. Eco mode's of course going to give you your best fuel efficiency. Sport mode's going to give you a little extra power. It's going to change the mapping of the pedal as well too. On your steering wheel, it does have a different design than on the Telluride. So we have a big spoke down here, nice Kia logo, some chrome accents in the center, all your media controls on the left and your driving controls on the right. So you can see we do have smart cruise control. You can turn your cruise control on, set your following distance, and the lane follow assist, which will kind of steer for you as the road ahead of you curves, or if there's a vehicle ahead of you, it'll kind of follow them as well too. Over here, you have your 12.25-inch display with navigation. Sorry, it's just going to switch driver profiles. There we go. I'll go to our map. There we go. I'll close that up. Right now it's in dark mode because we're inside, but if you head inside or outside, it'll turn white and light. You can also change it to whatever preference you'd like. Down here you have all your climate controls. Wireless phone chargers located down here with your 3 USBs. The center one is for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. These two are just fast chargers. 2 cup holders, a little slot for your phone, parking brake, and auto hold. I'm going to have Charlotte join me in the passenger seat and we'll show you some other tech. Alright, now Charlotte's joined me in the Carnival. We're just going to take a look at some of the tech features that make this van different than the Telluride. So one thing that's not available in the Telluride is the passenger view camera. So you have a camera located in the center of the vehicle. If I stick my hand out, you'll kind of see it there. I know I have big hands. Someone commented that. Don't talk about them. There's Charlotte, thumbs up. So you can zoom in and zoom out. So you can kind of check around, see what your passengers are doing, check your surroundings. If you have pets, kids, even just precious cargo, just make sure everything is still where you put it. That makes sense. You can also talk to your rear passengers. So especially if the van is filled with people, you got truly 8 passengers back here, it can be very hard to project your voice to the rear seats. If I press talk now, it'll pick up my voice from my microphone up here and transport it to the speakers that are located in the back of the vehicle. And then when I'm done, I can press end and it'll shut off. Also, if I go back here, you do have a rear climate control. So cool thing with our Carnival, and the Telluride has this as well too, you can set the temperature for the rear manually, or you can let them do it. If you have young kids that like to play around with your vehicle, you can also lock it so they don't turn the heat on in the summer or air on in the winter or vice versa. I'll close that up. We'll move over here. You got your radio controls. So this is what your radio screen looks like. I'm a big fan of that song. You also have Sirius XM and AM radio. Not to mention you also can use music or listen to music from your phone via Bluetooth or USB music, whatever's best for you. If you use Spotify like me and you plug your phone into your USB here, all your Spotify playlists will be right on your dash, your screen, which makes it very easy to use. I'll highlight just down here. So we have heated seats for driver and passenger. I'll turn them off there. 3 different levels. A heated steering wheel. This is your parking sensor button and your parking camera button. So if I were to press this, it'll show me my full 360 camera on the right side. And this is my backup camera. So because the tailgate is up, that's why it looks a little crazy. I'm just going to press that down. You can see it move. It's pretty cool. So it's just shut down. Now we'll show you the second and third row. All right, so now we're in the second row of the Carnival. 3 seats here, like I mentioned. Cool thing about this center seat, in the old version of the Carnival, the Sedona, it was still a seat, but it was barely a seat, if that makes sense. It was paper thin, it was easy to take out. This one you can still take out, mind you. It's a little harder because it's more of a seat, but now this one's actually comfy. So a full-size person like me can actually sit here on a long car ride and be okay, provided whoever's sitting beside me isn't too annoying. So if I get out of here, I'll also show you what this looks like folded down. So I'll give it a tug over there. Now it's a flat surface. You can use it as an armrest. You can use it if you're working, like laptop here. You have 2 cup holders and 2 little slots that fit iPhones and Samsungs perfectly. So if your phone is charging, you can have it literally just sit back there when you take a nap or whatever you decide to do. These seats do recline a little bit as well too, so there's a lever just located on the side. I'll have Charlotte pan over. And then I'm just going to show my seat reclining, so I'm pulling my lever on my side. And I didn't do that too smooth, but you can adjust it, provided if you don't have people sitting back there, you can go even further and take a real snooze. So I'll move this back up, and we'll show you how to get into the rear seats. I'm going to have Charlotte come around this way, and I'll move my seat up. So now we'll quickly show you how the seating configuration works and how to get into the rear seats. So there is a little lever here. I'll let Charlotte get a good shot of that. And that's going to be your one lever solution to getting into the rear seats. So I'm going to give it a pull, and it moves forward. Now, one thing I have to note, when I show the Telluride, it's much easier. Not that this is hard, but it's much easier in the Telluride. Then you do have a nice side step that you can step up and into the van. Now we can take a seat back here, and provided if someone else was going to sit there, they could adjust it themselves. If not, there is a latch back here where I can pull, move the seat back, and then pull it up myself to lock myself in. And now I'm nice and comfy. I have tons of space back here. I'll actually take the camera over and show you what my seating is like over here. So, apologies for the trade-off. But I have the seat all the way back, and I have a good amount of leg room back here. See if I can make it a little brighter. There we go. So I can extend my legs, put them underneath, and I have good room. So that concludes our walk around of the Carnival. Now let's get into the Telluride. So this is the 2022 Telluride SX, not the SXL, which drops the seat down just like the SX model on the EX Plus or on the Carnival drops the seat down. You want this one if you need 8 seats. So you got beautiful LED headlights and fog lights, which I'll show you at the bottom there. Nice cubed pattern there, and then a very, very nice, it still stays angular, so boxy. We'll come off to the side. Beautiful 20-inch machine finished alloy wheels. So a really nice design. These are exclusive to the SX model. I used to think they look almost like hearts, like little hearts, if that makes sense. And then we'll come to the side, same thing, your mirrors are body colored and you got some black accents with your side blind view monitor cameras. So a full 360 camera on this vehicle. Along the side, you still have your chrome accents with your body color, located on the bottom as well too. Now I'll show you the tailgate. So power tailgate, just like the Carnival. Same thing, you can open it from your key fob, from up there, or from your driver's seat. Now, this is a sold unit. They already purchased accessories, so this does not come with the vehicle, but it is a great accessory. It keeps your cargo liner cleaned. It is a cargo liner that keeps your cargo floor clean, sorry. And then you can still access your latches, which can help fold down your seats. So 3-seater or 8-seater, 3 seats in the back, 3 seats in the center, 2 seats in the front. With your third row up, you don't have as much cargo space as you do in the Carnival. So this is where it really gets tricky. How much space do you need or how many seats do you need? Both are gonna fit space and seats, but you're definitely gonna have a lot more extra space over there. If it's not frequent that you carry 8 passengers, and you usually only carry 6 or 5, whatever, this might make more sense for you. I'll fold these rear seats down. It's gonna unlock, and now I can just give it a light push, and they'll fold down. There we go. So it doesn't look as even right now because of the liner, but if this was removed, it's completely flat, and that's what your seating arrangement would look like if you only needed 5 seats or even 6, because you got that extra one there. Then you'd have room for whatever you need, whether it be strollers or coolers, whatever it could be. Over here, you do have 2 buttons that will fold down your second row seats. So I'll just fold down the left one. And they go completely flat, something that will not be able to do in the Carnival because you would have to fully remove the seats in the second row for them to be flat. So one thing to note there. I'll close this off. Beautiful rear end. And now I'll show you the second row. So we'll get a good look at it first. And I'll take a seat back there to show you what the space is like for an adult. One thing I really like about the Carnival is or the Telluride, is that you have these levers, handles that you can get in and out of very easily, and you also have these steps. So these steps aren't too crucial if you're just getting into the second row, but if you're getting into the third row, it's nice to step on an actual step rather than getting your foot kind of caught in between a weird spot. These seats do move a little closer and a little further. So I could have it like this and give my rear passengers tons of space, but honestly, if my seat is already almost all the way back, they have tons of room back there for something that's not a van. I'll hop out of here and show you just how easy it is to get into the third row. So I'll have Charlotte zoom in on the little button there. So I'll press that and it does all the work for me. So it locks into place, I can hop in, and now I'm in the third row. And then to bring the seat back up, I can just kind of grab it and pull it. And it'll lock into place. And I'm actually very comfy back here. If you like, I can take the camera and show you what's around me. So I apologize for this awkward little shot. Thank you. So for leg room, I got a fair bit of room to stretch my legs. I'm pretty comfy. And then over here, I have cup holders, I have a USB, got clips for your seat belts if you don't want them around, so you can just kind of lock them into there. And then, if I did have more passengers, they'd be sitting right beside me, but I have the third row folded down on the left side. More USBs, more cup holders. Nice thing you got up here is vents and your speakers for passenger talk. And we get a second row sunroof, so something that's only available in the top trim line for the Carnival. But one thing about the Carnival though is their second row sunroof is functional, so it does open, like physically opens. This one only has a powered cover. You can't actually open the glass pane. Okay, so now we're in the cabin or cockpit of the Telluride. I'm going to start off with showing you some features that it does have that the Carnival doesn't have, just like I did in the Carnival. We showed you what the Telluride doesn't have. So on the driver's door, I'll open it to make it a little easier, you can see you have memory seats. So this is included in this trim. The trim below does not have it, but the trim above does, and this one does. I'll close this up. You also have a premium audio system. So in the Telluride specifically, it's Harman Kardon. So I'll have Charlotte pan over to her side of the door and show you the speakers. Then you can also see the accents. It doesn't have white on the panels like the Carnival did, but you do have wood grain accents on the door and on your dash. Add some color and some light and some brightness to the vehicle. You do have a nice big display with navigation. It is set up a little differently than the Carnival though. So the Carnival you saw has a huge digital dash which kind of flows into the main screen. This one, you do have some digital aspects on your dash, but for the main part it is kind of analog. And then over here you have a fully digital touchscreen display. So with the map, you have navigation, everything in it as well too, just laid out a bit differently. On this vehicle, you still get that camera and your turn signal. Let me just start it up real quick. So you see that it's in the center rather than in your actual speedometer or tachometer. And for both sides. And I'll turn this off so I don't smoke out Chris. And when I turn this back on, you can see everything's lit up again. Another thing I wanted to point out that's different is the steering wheel itself. So if you flash back to the Carnival, you can see there was a nice big chunky kind of piece of piano black for the spoke. Now everything's a little more spaced out. It reminds me almost of a truck steering wheel, which I really like. I do like the steering wheel a lot. And then if we move into over here, you got a lot of soft buttons in the Carnival. Now you have physical hard buttons. A lot of people like a real button to work with. And over here you do have all your climate controls. Sorry, it'll beep again in just a second. So driver and passenger, and also rear. You can lock the rear out of their controls as well too, because they do have a cluster to play around with. So if I wanted to lock my rear passengers out, I could do it right over there. All right, and then moving down here, sorry, give it a good push. You have your wireless phone charger, USB, another USB, so that's one less than the Carnival, and a 12 volts. Then up here we have heated seats and ventilated seats for driver and passenger. No heated or ventilation in the seats for the rear though, so that's something you'd have to move up a trim. Then again, you would lose a seat. Over here you got your cup holders, your gear shift, your drive mode select. So if you remember, it was a button in the Carnival. This one, it is a dial. It doesn't change your gauges or anything, so everything stays the same. But if I press it down, I do have terrain modes. So because this is an all-wheel drive vehicle, you can change the torque distribution by putting into snow, mud, or sand, or you can just leave it as is and the vehicle will decide for itself. Over here we have auto hold, another camera, so park view monitor, and your parking sensors. So full 360 on this vehicle, just like the Carnival. I'll throw into reverse to show you. So you can see everything around you. You can also zoom in. If you want to get a little closer, zoom out. You also have a really cool camera. I like to call it the hitch camera. So if you do tow with your Telluride, you can back in and use this to kind of guide you. We're back into park. And then I'll focus up to the top, the roof. I have a sunroof for me and Charlotte. Now this one is powered. We can actually open this one, just like that. I'll close it. And it also tilts as well too, so if you do not want it fully opened, you want to save your hairdo, you did your hair, you can do that. But the rear one, like I mentioned earlier, it is fixed, so it's just a glass pane. The good news is to close it, it is powered, so you don't have to reach all the way back there to close it. If you look over, it's closing by itself. It's something that I wish was an option in the Carnival with the 8 seats, but unfortunately it's only an option for the SX model, which, like I said, only has 7 seats. All right, so that sums up our video. I hope it was a little bit helpful. For me, I'm so confused. I know I definitely don't need a vehicle of this size for my family, but if I did have, I don't know, 5 or 6 kids, it'd be pretty tough. I think there's benefits for both, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to, of course, family size, needs, and preference. Styling-wise, I think they're both gorgeous, though. Gotta be honest, I'm not a big minivan fan, but this does not look like a minivan. It looks like an SUV from the front, an SUV with sliding doors and a ton of room. And then the Telluride is just simply gorgeous and luxurious. Both of them have a lot of the same features, a lot of different features. Sunroof, no sunroof, all-wheel drive, no all-wheel drive, but passenger view camera. It's a lot to think about. We're here to make your life a little bit easier, so hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. We will have both full walkarounds linked below in the description, and if you have any questions, please comment them down below. Thank you so much for watching.